Hello everyone and welcome back to my room. I wanted to show you this little, I don't know what you want to call it, folio, you name it, give it a name. It just holds tags inside. I came across, well, I didn't come across, but one of the banks where I live hands out these little money folders, and I like this one because it was a little different. It's not a regular one, although you can do it with any bank envelope. I like these, so I keep them. I don't toss them. So inside the first pocket, you insert your checks in here, and then inside here, you put the coins. So somehow you close it. Insert currency checks and deposit slips here. So in here, and then it says tuck flap here, so it might be this one, all right? And then it says insert coins in this pocket, so that's the inside pocket. So what you do, you put everything in here, you hand it, I guess, to the teller or inside the bank. It's my son's bank, so I don't know much about it yet, but anyhow, that's beside the point, right? So what I did was I took it apart and I opened it up and I looked at it, and I just love the shape here and the shape over here. I just love the envelope. So I said, what can I do with this? So I came up with this. And I did the butterfly as closures, because the paper is butterfly, so I love butterflies, so that's what I did. And then it flips up, so I covered this end. And what I did to cover the fasteners, what I did was I just, from the same paper, I cut a fuzzy cut of a butterfly, and then I covered the back of the fastener. So see if you can see right there, I just covered it there, and I just put one there, and it kind of camouflages inside. It camouflages because it's the same paper. Although you can use something different, it's up to you. And then you open it up, so you'll have this. This one folds down, which I haven't finished. I have to do this part here, where I'll show you, and I'll do it right now so you see how exactly I do it. And I don't measure, so I kind of just put the flap in here like this, right? Trying to center it. I take my pen or pencil, in my case a pen because that's what's sitting there, although I should be using my pencil. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna get my pencil, because with the pencil you can erase, not with the and I just kind of marked my flap here with my pen. So let's just hide it with this. And of course I haven't totally inked anything up, so I come and I kind of go around the shape. And you know how a million things can go wrong when you're recording. If you have your own YouTube channel, this is what happens. I'm not the only one. I hope I'm in range. Okay, so toss that over there, and then I come, and what I do is just kind of ink up the I love this one. This one is the vintage photo. So I go between the vintage photo and what's the other one? I think is called Walnut, if I'm correct. And let's see, because I'm flipping to see if I can find it. But I think you know what one all looks like. It's somewhere. I don't even know where it is. Very strange. Okay, might be over there by my inks. I'll have to check because I got to bring it back. Okay, so anyway, walnut or vintage photo, basically whatever color you want. Doesn't really matter. And you come in, you glue. I don't like to lay it down because in this bottle, this is the Sugar Bell bottles, and I'm sure you're aware of these bottles. They're really made for frosting cakes. I don't like to put it on its side because it leaks all over the place, and I am like OCD about keeping my ink, my glue cleaned. All right, let me get this pen away from me because I'm tempted to do it. And so you take your tags, basically you take your tags and you place them in there, close it up, close it this way, and I won't give you any measurements because honestly, these envelopes vary unless you have the same bank around you, which this is Eastern Bank, so all the envelopes are different size, so I won't be going there for you, but you can insert these. I didn't decorate the back because I'm actually gluing it into one of the journals, which is gonna lay like that, and it's just gonna open up and it's gonna look pretty. But you can create a hidden paper clip and clip it there, or a belly band or a corner band. Sky's the limit with these. Really, you can go all out with these. Okay, so this is my envelope, and let's get started, and you'll see the process, my thinking process, if it doesn't go haywire on me. Okay, so since I'm going to cover this side first, what I usually normally do, and this one has no direction, so it doesn't really matter. And these are better if you use the ones that don't have the double pattern, so you won't waste your paper since it's gonna be glued in. So make sure that you clean any pieces of paper that you have from opening it up. It's always good to do. Let me get the little tiny scissors. It's better to get in here. I have to get really better light in this room because I can't really see, and it is really humid by me, so I have my fan going and it might blow my stuff around. Okay, so here we go. And what I do, and I've shown it in other videos, I kind of take the sheet where I'm going to do it, and I kind of, since I want the white to show, I kind of line it up like this. I don't know if you can see it, where it has like just a little edge. I bring it out as far as I want it to show, because remember the other side, you have to leave. So I would say like maybe a 1/4 of an inch. Can you see that? Okay, I think you can. So this is my, okay, so then I go in here, and what I do is I just trace it. For me, it's so much easier than going around and measuring everything. So see, it gives me the shape. Oh, this room is horrible with the light. And I go in and I just, now for a small envelope like this, it might be better if you cut your paper in half. I'm used to this, so it doesn't matter. And there's a trick to this, so okay, so we're gonna put all of that inside here because we're not gonna deal with these yet. So take this one and you measure it to where you want it. Okay, you'll see it a little bit better once I ink it up, the edges and what I mean. So I just kind of do the edges. Basically, I like it because it gives it like a 3D and you can see the border of the white on the envelope. Now, if you don't like that look, you can always just trace it completely to that exact size. You don't have to pull the paper out the way I did. And see how it sits here? Right there. And I think I'm gonna go in and cut just a smidgen. Go in again. And that seems better for me. Much better. Then you start and you glue it. Here we go. So I bought a pool, we set it up, and those couple of weeks up here in Massachusetts was really hot and humid, and I was in the pool, and I must have gotten an ear infection, water in my ear, and it's horrible because now I believe I have an ear infection. So I have to go to the ENT tomorrow and get it looked at. Let me always have wipes handy. I love them. It's like the best. And you just wipe your card down. I'm a neat freak, so excuse. So there you go. So that's the first panel. Now the second panel, you can cut the whole thing, but I don't. I like the edge, so we're gonna go in this way. So you do the same process, flip it over, hold it down tightly, flip this over, go in with your pen. Now, my other one, I didn't do it this way. I did it, and I'll show you right now the difference. I cut it in 2 different pieces. See here? I cut one piece here and then the other one, but it gave that effect, so I kind of liked it. But on this one, I'm going to try to cut the whole entire panel out. So we'll go in here. Oh, you know what's the worst thing right now, this moment, is that it's so humid that my paper is totally damp. It's like if I spritz it with water. That's how the paper feels. So it'll probably take like a day or 2 before these are dry. Okay. We toss that to the side. And we'll just close it up and see it for size, because I may want to shorten it out or something. All right, here we go. I kind of like it. It's okay. Let me just do this one just a tad bit more. A little smidgen off of here. There we go. And there we go. Okay, perfect. So now this method works for me. I do measure, don't get me wrong, but if I can get away with not measuring, I'm there. So for those of you that don't like to measure, this is one option, you know. And it never really fails for me anyway. I'm used to it. You know, practice makes perfect. So if you practice, you'll wind up getting used to it, and you will mess up. And beside the point, when you mess up, you can always camouflage everything. So see what it looks like. Okay, so let's glue it down. Wow, this is gonna be a long video. I try to stick to my videos for 15 minutes, no more than that usually, and because I don't want anybody getting bored. Okay, so we'll do that. Pick it up. Now remember, if you want to do this end, you can do it too. Let's see if we do it. Okay. And you could embellish them further. I'm not, because since they're going into one of the journals, I don't know the theme. I just kind of like to, I don't know. See how pretty it's coming out? I just like to just do the platform, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. And okay, so now we're going to do this side again. So we're going to take the same paper, and we're gonna, now remember, if you want the white to show, you have to pull the paper out some. So I kind of like doing 1/4 of an inch, I don't know, 1/4. 1/4, I think, is what you call it. Just a smidgen. So we're gonna flip this over, hold it tightly, right? Hold it tightly. Or, you know what you can do too, which would make it so much even easier, is cut 2 panels the first time. You know, cut the first one and then cut the second one. Put it on top of the paper, so you get 2 panels instead of 1. And you don't have to do what I just did. That's another way. Okay, so now, and I'm going to show you how I did the other one. I'm gonna do, I think I can do the split thing, the split panels on this one. It may work. So I want to show you how I did that split panel. But again, you can do the whole entire panel. Did I do the whole entire panel? No, I did the split panel. Okay, I might have done the whole panel inside. So let me cut this out and then take a look at that prototype again. Okay, so let's see. I did the split panel in here and the whole panel in here. See it? And then split panel here. Okay, so let's try that. So we're gonna okay, right here. Oh, I got nervous. All right, so we're gonna do here. So now this is where I start just cutting a little bit of it out. This is fine. Let me cut this here just a tad bit. Again, it's preference. Okay. And the simpler the envelope, the simpler the cutting out. Mine's because it has that little curve there. So that's why you have to try to get that curve in there. It's 2 curves. So that's the first one. The inking the edges kind of how do you say it? Doesn't it happen to you if you're a YouTuber where you're making videos and then all of a sudden you get your brains on freeze? I guess I'm self-conscious when I record. Anyway, so by inking the edges, you can see it between the white, the white border on it. And I'll show you what I mean again. See, it just kind of looks cute. And it brings out the edges around. So let's glue that down now. And I hope everybody's doing good. And here in my state, we are almost back to normal. We can go out and eat. We don't need the masks. Still, we need to take precautions and, you know, keep distance. But for most part, we can go out to eat now without a mask. And they still closing early, some stores. So I'm thinking it's by choice. Oops. Put my pen there. Get my scraper. I use this to distribute the ink. The glue completely around, and it doesn't give me wrinkles or bubbles, and that's why I do that. Okay, so far so good. We got that panel done. Now let's do this one, and I'll show you how I do the split thing here. So this is it here. So let's just measure it for size. Okay, I just jumped up. I have I forgot I have my iPad on here. And it just lit up. Okay, so we're gonna kind of move it to where I want. I don't think I'm gonna have enough. Let's see, because I don't want it to be too high up. But then see how here is missing a whole piece. So I'm not gonna be able to use that for here, because if I bring it down, then it's gonna be completely off. But it doesn't go to waste, because now I can use this part here to do the flap. And again, the same thing. The flap's there. Ugh, this is like so awkward to do. The flap's there, and bring it down a smidgen. Turn it around. I can see it better this way, but I don't know if you can see it when I move it. Get your pencil. Trace all the way around. Because even if you get off a little bit, you can still, and I'm going to show you how to cut 2 panels and not do what I just did twice. So you go this way, right? Yeah, I try not to waste a whole lot of paper. All right, so this is where I want it. So I have to measure it here, right? So I need to cut some more from this end. Go that way. Look at it this way. And yes, right there. It's good. It's good. It's good. So now with ink, and I want to show you what I was talking about. Instead of measuring twice, because you have to do another one for this side, I'll show you what you do. And it's much easier. But me, I like it the hard way. Okay, so you just bring it to another piece of your paper. Bring it there, right? And you cut around it, or you pencil it in. It's up to you. And you go around. Toss that to the side. Cut it. Got around that end a little bit. Fix it up over here. And this one's for here. So let's glue this one down. And you have the other one. Instead of doing what I did before, which I just traced one and then traced the other. Okay, so we go like that. Where's my card? Right here. Go this way, this way. Clean the card off, clean the glue off. flip it up. Make, you know, always like put it on your paper and see what it looks like. I really like just the other method of just doing one and then the other, tracing it, just because I fiddle with it less than when I cut them the same, because then I have to cut, adjust, you know, cut and adjust. All right, here we go. So we'll go here, right? We'll glue this up. I don't even know, 25 minutes. Oh boy. So that, I guess that's how long an envelope takes, right? Well, it depends what you're making. This type of envelope anyway. Okay, so go like that and like that. Now at this point, you can always cut to insert your brad and then cover it with this side. So you make the hole, put the brad in, and then take this panel and put it here. I'm not gonna do that because I wanna take one of the little tiny flowers and put it on there, okay? I have enough for this one, I think, here, do I? Let me see. Maybe not. No, okay. So instead of doing that little one, let's do this panel here. All right, so we're gonna do the panel here, and I didn't cut it. It wasn't so great cutting the other end. I wanted to do the split, but I guess it didn't come out with this one. Okay, so let's just, there we go. I'm gonna try to bring it down a little bit so I won't use so much paper. Because remember, you could always do, even from the same exact paper, if you have any left over, you could make some hidden paper clips with the same pattern paper. Or you can make tabs to match. I've done that before. The scissors. Okay, I need to clear this. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna cut here. Go this way. Around. Around. It's easier if you move your paper, but I can't do that because I'm on camera. If I move it around, I'll pull it from the camera. Okay, so now this is the adjustment part. So here I'm gonna cut from this end. And see here, I'm gonna cut a little bit here because it's way too long and I wanna see the white edge around it. Yeah, perfect. And I'll have to say that if it doesn't look exact for me, I don't care. It's handmade. It's not supposed to be perfect, you know? Unless you have exact measurements, nothing you do by hand literally is exact. And I just kind of like it because it reminds me of us being different. We all have different fingerprints. You know, no two snowflakes are alike either. So it's just, I like it. And you can even do these with printables. You know, there's a lot of people that sell printables, and they're nice, and I love them. They're so gorgeous sometimes. No, not sometimes. They're gorgeous. But I don't like to use printables. I'd rather use pattern papers, because when I make the pattern papers, I get to match the colors myself. So I get to match myself the colors and combined. I love doing that. Okay, so we got the flap up, we got the left and the right. Now we're gonna do the bottom and the middle. So let's do the middle first. So how I do the middle is I close it all up, put it in here again. I kind of off center it. That's the word I've been trying to look for. Off center. Sorry, I needed a drink. It's so hot in here. Okay, I hope, yeah, I am. Okay. So, I come, and what I'm going to do, since I'm going to cover the back so you can see what they both look like, one without and one with. I'm going to take this one and do it this way. With these, you can get away with trimming less too, because basically these are straightforward. You're not doing any curves or anything like that. So with the curves are a little bit harder. Okay, but you always have to do the opposite. Okay, so let's open it up. Take the first one and measure. And I need to cut some here. I just wet my paper with the with this. Oh, and I tried to use my heat gun to dry it. That doesn't work because it kind of, well, for me anyway, it warped my paper. I mean, I flattened it out, but it's not. Okay, so I want to put enough ink on these edges. And I just, if a little bit comes in, that's fine, but I just want it on the edges. I don't want it all over my paper. Just squeeze and try to get the edges as close to the edge without globbing the glue, because you don't want a whole lot of glue. It takes forever to grow, to grow, yeah, okay, to dry. Okay, and there we go. Okay, that part is done. Now so let's flip it to the back, and we'll measure it, and see how weird this is. This one fit perfectly, just a smidgen, because I cut that a little crooked, but I didn't have to do much to this one. And so again, the edges, edges, edges. We're almost done, guys. You're almost done. I hope I can inspire some of you to do this with your bank envelopes. I just, like I said, I love this pattern. It's a nice bank envelope. I have to tell my son to bring them to me every time he goes to the bank to remind him to bring me one when he withdraws money. Okay. And you can always ink up a different color, like ink up, you know, green or blue, the edges. I prefer white. Okay, So we're almost done. Now we need to do this one here, and we need to clean it up a little bit. I think the process too of this is because when you open it up, you have little fuzzies there. Okay. Let's see if we can use here. And you know what? I think I'm gonna fold it like this, right? Make it straight, as straight as I can. So that way I only have to do one time. So, oh, my butterfly. Let's go around, around, around. Okay, now we'll take it and we cut it. We'll go around like this. You can see me, right? Yep, you can. And alrighty, so let's bend it up, go this way, and fit it to size. So now here, because this was like a practically a scrap paper, so I'm gonna cut it just a little bit more. So we're gonna go this way. Cut it up a little bit on this side. I'm doing this because I want the edges shown. Again, you don't have to do it this way, because you can definitely just trace the whole thing and cut it and just place it, but I want the edges. Okay. It's so, my paper is so damp that, I mean, this is distress ink, so it's water activated, so it's so damp in here that the paper is like, it just spreads, put it that way, because the paper is damp. Okay, so here we go. So that's done. We can just do this one like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna flip this up, because I work better this way. I was watching this. Okay, so here I kind of made this way too chunky, and just cut a smidgen from the bottom. Yeah, I'm used to doing these. See how the paper, I don't know if you can see that, but there's still paper from tearing it apart. And I have to go in here just a tad bit, because that one's just way too thick here. Okay, here we go. Nope. Too long for me. I want more of the paper to show. Let's do this side too. Yeah, I really like the edge of the white showing. Really, I do. Okay, that's good. Now the paper stuck to me. So we'll go like this. Oh my gosh, if you could just see this, it's so funny because the paper is so damp that actually the ink runs. Can you see that? I have really bad light. I think tomorrow I'm gonna go get a LED light bulb for it in here, because I can't. I told my husband the other day I need a brighter bulb for in here, because it's kind of getting dark out here. It's almost 9 o'clock. Okay, there we go. So we all done, all finished. This is what's gonna hold whatever you put in here. Doesn't have to be tags. And let me see how I did this one. So this one I flipped it that way. Yeah, I kind of like that look. That look right there. So let's keep that. So we're gonna go this way. So how do I do this? Here we go. Let's first find a flower in here, because I want to cut my flowers. So I think I'm going to do this one.
Okay. I
this one here. So I'm going to do this little one. And I don't have, I'm just gonna go around it. I should have grabbed my circle punch. So I'm just gonna go totally around it. See how I move the paper? It's so much easier when you move the paper. And I noticed too that keep it in the middle of your scissors. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. And because I can't really see. In the middle of your scissors. Don't cut. And I'm going to show you this. Okay, so it's already cut, okay? Don't, when you're fuzzy cutting, don't go like this. Like all the way down with your scissors. Let's see if you can see this. Like this. Because at the end, it almost like gives you like a little curve. Try and stare at it so you can see. Like when you're fuzzy cutting and you cut one end and then you go all the way down like this, it kind of leaves you like a tiny little L shape going this way. You don't want that. So just, it's better if you stay in the middle. See? Middle. Never go like this, and go like that, and then like that, because you're gonna have, see what it did? These little nicks, that's what it does. So that's just a little suggestion for you. So I got that one. So let me do this one here, because it's let me see if I can erase this so you can see what I'm doing. So we're gonna cut the brown one. I'm gonna go in, out. See how I'm just keeping that flower inside my scissors in the middle. There we go. Now it's really hard for me to fuzzy cut this way, but see, I've not once have I gone to the end of the scissors, to the tips, because the tip is only gonna leave you like a nick. Okay, so those are good. I'm gonna just ink to see that it doesn't have any little white spots. Okay, so here's my butterflies, because I'm going to use my butterflies, and that butterfly is wet from my drink. Now I cut 3 and 3, and the only reason why I cut 3 is because, and even though this is cardstock, it's still flimsy, so I kind of do 3. You can do 4, and I mean, the more layers you, and this is a butterfly punch, so the more layers you put on, the stiffer, okay, the your embellishment is gonna be, and it's gonna hold the fastener better. It won't rip on you, put it that way. So that's another suggestion. So I'll put that one down, and then we'll go here. I discovered that, and I think it's much better because you're going to be opening and closing it. If you're not going to be opening and closing it, then, you know, one is sufficient. But if you're going to be handling it, then I suggest do 3 or 4. 3 or 4 is good. Anyway, that's what works for me. And the butterfly, I wish you can see it, it's textured, but, and you could use almost any punch. I'm trying to use my punches because I don't use my punches, and it's terrible. I'm gonna do a tour of my room. I'm gonna clean it up and do a tour of my room, because I changed a whole lot of stuff on it. So this week I'll do it. I'm good at that. Definitely. Okay, so yeah, I'm inking just around the wings. That's it. And you could embellish these, you could emboss them, you can, again, you can do anything with it. Okay, so what I do is I take this one. I have the little one, but this one's better because I have to reach, and I forgot measure here. You know, I'm eyeballing, but you can measure if you want to be exact. Okay, so that's my first punch. I kind of go in here, eyeball it again. I want it in the middle. Okay, so there's the hole. Let me do this one too while I'm at it. Then I'll show you how to do the other one. Okay, so any rope is good. And what I do is, I'm at 45 minutes. Let's try to hurry up. I hope I'm not losing you from boredom. Okay, so what I do is I open these up just a tad bit. Okay, can you see it? And I slide in there the knot and push it on the bottom. So it's kind of sitting in a cradle, okay? Take my butterfly, insert it, put it through the hole I made here, okay? There we go. Fix up your butterfly before you glue. Now again, you can do any embellishment. It doesn't matter. You can even, like I said, before you paste this panel down, you can insert this. But I like that. Okay, second. So now you want to place this one as far as you want it, and I think I'm gonna put it farther. Yeah, let me see how far my rope will go. Yeah, and that too depends how far you want your rope to be. Oh, I would have liked to have it down here, but I already started, so I can't. Mark it with your pencil. Bring your crocodile or whatever it is that you're using. Your hole punch, piercer, whatever you use. You grab it and put this in here. It feels so flimsy, but it's because, like I said, it's bad in here. It's so hot. Okay. And you grab your, come on. There we go. It's so hot that usually the tip dries, and it's not even drying, honestly. Okay. I mean, so humid. Keep saying hot, I don't know. Okay, so here we go. And voila. Again, it's just, they're so damp. It's bad to work with paper, see? And this one is completely dry, so this one is hard. But that one is just wet now. Aren't these pretty? And see, if you do the panel in the back, now I'll have to do something matching so I can insert it in one of the journals. Or you can leave it flat and glue it down. Okay, guys, I hope I inspired you somehow, and the tips that I gave you, I hope you can use them and pass them on. Please feel free to share my video if you feel that somebody else would like doing this, and yeah, it would be nice to see your spin-off on these. So don't throw your bank envelopes away. Recycle them. All right, guys, so I'm glad that you stepped into my room and spent some time with me. Sorry that the video was long, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye-bye. God bless.